In this lesson, I'm going to demonstrate the Cloud Shell within your cloud platform. So you need to be logged on to your Google Cloud platform. And as soon as you do this, it'll display your dashboard, right? Where you'll see your projects, App Engine, other status, and so on. So from the left here, let's open up the product and services. And you can notice you'll see the Compute Engine, App Engine, any instances that you're running or VMs that you're running. It'll all show up here. In other words, you can click on any one of these tools and it will take you to the specific area that you're looking at. So for example, if I need to click on Compute Engine, it'll take me to the Compute Engine area page or wherever I can go ahead and create instances. Okay, so here I can create a VM instance and so on. So I'm going to create this in the next lesson, but here I want to show you the Cloud Shell. Okay, so let me go back to the dashboard here. On the top menu bar here, it says Activate Google Cloud Shell. So once I click on it, notice it brings up and connects to the shell machine. This is a temporary Linux machine that allows us to run different commands, and we can run several types of commands such as, of course, our local directories, the shell commands. We can connect Docker, we can pull images, we can run Python, and so on. Okay, so once the shell is open, let me make this a little bigger. Notice it has its own set of tools, so I can, for example, web preview whatever I have here. If I'm running an application, I can preview it on my local host, for example, or I can go to the settings and change and work with some of these settings. So pretty straightforward here. But what I want to show you here, once you're connected to your shell, notice the bash sign here, and it gives you the project ID. So this is your project ID. Okay. All right. So let me first go ahead and run a simple command. Let me list out the directories, and it shows up that I have App Engine, Guestbook, Python, I have Hello World, and I have SRC. So if I need to change directory to Hello World, simple commands, no big deal. Okay, and then change it back. I can also run within my shell, let's say Python. So if you're a programmer or a web developer, you will like this. So I can simply type Python, it will take me to the Python interpreter. Okay, here I can run Python commands. So I can say something like print hello world. This is great. And of course, Python is going to give me the output. Similarly, I can use variables. I can say something like w equals 10, and then I can say something like r equals 20, and of course I can use a simple basic print, and I can say w plus r, and it'll give me 30. Okay, so pretty powerful. So once I'm done with my Python, I can get back to my prompt here. I can use the exit function here, for example, and it will take me back to my prompt. Next, I can also run additional commands such as Docker, right? So we talked about Docker. I demonstrated in previous lessons how to download, install, and let's say you have Docker images, right? For example, that you need to pull, or you need to pull from a repository. So what I can do is I can first, let me show you the commands here for Docker. So just simply type Docker, hit enter, and notice it gives you several options, right? So I can scroll up here, and here are the options for all of these commands, and here are the commands listed. So I can do something like Docker attach, Docker build. It would build an image from a Docker file. I can create, and so on. Okay, so you can take a look at all of these as you work with them. So for example, let me go ahead and do a Docker ps command, which is simply listing the containers, if any. So right now, notice it does not show any containers because there are none. Okay, so if I need to do something like Docker pull Ubuntu, make sure my spellings are correct, and it's going to go ahead and try to pull it. Okay, so it's very easy to work with the shell and then pulling all these images from Docker. Okay, so this is pretty powerful. I can also run a file. So I can do something like Docker, for example, and I can say run command and run a sample program called hello world. And what this would do is it will run the actual program. Okay, let me show you one more thing here. So let's say if I need to connect to my Docker Hub, and recall Docker Hub is the online registry, right? Online repository where all the images are stored. So let me connect to that and see if it allows me. So I'm going to go ahead and say Docker login. And good, it asks for the username, and if I can just remember the username, okay, it's Claydesk, and then password. I hope the password is correct, and asks for the email. So let me see if I can use my email that I used to create the account, and I will go ahead and try to log in and connect to my repository. So wonderful, the login succeeded, and the login credentials are now saved in the config.json file. So now I'm connected to my Docker Hub repository. So what is this Docker Hub repository? Let me show you in fact what that is. Make sure the spelling is correct, and here I am. So Docker, it's basically hub.docker.com, right? So I'm going to go ahead and click on Docker Hub, and notice I'm already logged in. And I can explore the repositories, and here are all the repositories. So for example, the Nginx, which is the load balancer for containers within the cloud Google platform, I can simply use the docker pull Nginx command to pull the files. Okay, and you can scroll down and read about it, take a look at it. You can also go to GitHub and take a look at that there as well. So just wanted to quickly show you what the Docker Hub is all about, and of course all these repositories are there. So let me go back to my shell here. So again, I can use the docker pull, login, images, run programs, and so forth. So just quickly wanted to demonstrate in this lesson how to run and use the Cloud Shell, and we'll be using this throughout our projects. So I hope this helps practice, and let's move to the next lesson.